He said, in quote, "There are some parts of my body that aren't moving the way that I want it to. At the same time, I'm out there and I'm competing. It's a fine line and it's tough for me because I'm out there, but I'm not able to perform." I personally translate that as put him on the IL and shut him down for the year. Do you agree with that?
I agree. Especially if you got to give him all this money till 2027.
Yeah.
You're going to need him.
I would shut him down and put him on the IL, and that's it. Time to call up Brandon Sproat, and he should get his time in the rotation and get his opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the FTB Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Agulik, alongside my co-host, Tom Savino. We will be discussing the week that was. The Mets and Yankees begin their September gauntlets, while the Knicks stay quiet on the veteran free agent market. The Jets and Giants gear up for week one, so we will give our weekly predictions on each game. But what are the strengths and weaknesses for both teams? Stay tuned to hear our thoughts. Do me a favor, take a seat. Let's talk. As we're recording this, I'm watching the Met game on my TV. So 6-5 Mets. Manaea got pulled, by the way, Dom. 3 2/3 innings pitched. I think he threw like 85, 90 pitches.
You know, I would usually ask, we'd ask, oh, how are we doing and everything, but you're really locked into the game, but you never have a good time watching the game, so I'm not even going to ask you how you're doing. Even if it's winning, losing.
Yeah, I mean, Torkelson just got a leadoff single now for the bottom of the fifth. I actually want to see how many pitches Manaea threw. Let's see here. Yeah, 83 pitches in 3 2/3 innings.
Wow, that's solid.
That's just brutal. Anywho, how was your weekend, pal?
Good. I mean, the last hoorah of the summer, probably like the last really, really busy weekend for me, but it was a good one. It was good. Took off today. Needed a little breather. It's all good. It was a good summer. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Friday went to the Met game, went to go see Jonah Tong pitch. He did a great job. They really blew the Marlins out, but we're going to get into that whole week, but especially that series. Saturday golfed. Here at Clearview, it takes a day to golf 18 holes. Took us over 5 hours, me and my cousin. It was ridiculous. But went out to a Croatian restaurant at night, kind of just very much hung out yesterday. And today, we were prepping to record. So there's that. That's my weekend, essentially.
Good way to cap it off.
Yeah, for sure. First thing I'm going to say, just to start off, there's going to be some cursing in this episode. I know we've been keeping it family friendly. I don't know how family friendly it's going to be today. It's just really going to be the MLB section of the pod. But it's much needed and it's warranted. So that's just a fair warning. Just putting that out there because this Mets team really just grinds my gears. So obviously, as you could tell, where are we going to start? We're going to start with the MLB. This time around, we've been starting with the NFL the past few weeks, really basically a month, maybe even more than a month, but we're going to start with the MLB today. And Dom, somebody heard you for the Yanks.
Guys.
Somebody. So Yankees went 6-1 on the week.
Yep. You know, it's just too good to be true for a sweep. You know what I mean? Always. It's always just too good to be true. Like I say, they will always find a way to lose. Every single time. No matter if it's one of the best teams in the league or one of the worst teams in the league. They always play down to their opponent, and I think that's one of the main reasons why people don't like Boone. You're supposed to be a motivator for this ball club. And it's not really a good sign that you're a good motivator for this club. Because if you were, then we'd be blowing out these teams every single time and not have a like a quote unquote day off, which, I mean, obviously there's a million reasons why people don't want Boone as a manager, but I think that's one of the main ones because this is just getting ridiculous. But let me get this started. Like with the White Sox and the Nationals, all right, we went 6-1, right, in these last 7 games. Does it impress me? Clearly not. Um, like I said in the last episode, and probably even the episode before that too, we'll go on these win streaks, but against terrible teams. The people are gonna say, "Oh, we're back," or "Oh, like perfect time for the playoffs." No, this is not how it should be. But we have a really hard schedule coming up, and like I said, this is going to be make it or break it for the Yankees if we're making the playoffs or not. Because we got the Blue Jays, we got the Astros, we got the Red Sox, and the Tigers. And these are some of the best teams in the MLB right now, or especially in the American League. Because, I mean, the National League is just crazy, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But to break it down for you, on the 25th, was a final score at 10-5 with a Yankees W. Ben Rice with a solo home run and Jazz with a 2-run shot. Then also Jason Dominguez with a 3-run home run. And I'm going to say this right now. The most exciting person to watch on this team, for me, is Cam Schlittler. The way that he comes in and pitches and gets better and better every single time he gets on the mound, it's just insane. And he's our number 10 prospect, I believe, not even like a top 5 prospect that we had. So this is just amazing to see as Yankee fans. Cam Schlittler, he went 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 0 runs, 3 walks, and 8 Ks. I mean, against a good team or a bad team, that's still great numbers. Then the next day on the 26th, the final score of 5-1. And I mean, I got 2 words for you for this game. Giancarlo Stanton. He just completely took over this game. He had a bases clearing double in the 3rd inning, and then a 2-run home run in the 6th. With Lewis Hill on the mound, he had 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 run, 4 walks, and 5 Ks. Then on the 27th, we just absolutely destroyed them, 11-2. 6 home runs on the day by Trent Grisham, Rice, Judge, Cody Bellinger, Austin Wells, and McMahon. I mean, I wish we can do this against good teams. I mean, I don't understand why we can't. I feel like it's just, I guess they have more confidence when they play bad teams, which it doesn't make sense to me. But then at the same time, we'll play down to the competition. So someone needs to help me out with that one. Then on the 28th, the final score at 10-4 with Bellinger with a 2-run home run in the top of the 1st, and then Jazz with a solo in the top of the 2nd, and then Rice in the same inning with the RBI single. And then later on in the game, Will Warren gives up a grand slam to Miguel Vargas to tie the game in the bottom of the 2nd. In the top of the 5th, Judge with an RBI single and a Jazz sac fly. And then Volpe, the great Anthony Volpe, with a sacrifice fly in the 8th, and then a 2-run home run by Grisham. And Will Warren on the mound, he had 5 innings pitched, 4 runs, 0 earned, which I was going to ask you about this, Chris. I mean, I don't really get it. He gave up a grand slam. So that's 4 runs on the board, but 0 earned. I'm a little confused by that.
What had happened. It's all about what had happened in the at-bats prior. So there must have had been an error for one of the other at-bats. So did somebody make an error in the previous at-bat? I mean, there had to have been an error somewhere within that sequence. Because if you think about it, okay, if say the inning starts and prime example, perfect, say Anthony Volpe commits an error. Okay, well now that guy got on. Now everything that happens, subsequently everything else that transpires, they maybe wouldn't have happened if the first guy in the inning, got out. So
I understand, like I understand that part. Like there could have been some errors. But the fact that this guy gave up a grand slam, which I mean, obviously Like maybe it wasn't all his fault that all the runners were on, but he's the one that gave up the grand slam, which that's why I'm confused. I don't
And
understand why that should be zero unearned because there wasn't three errors in the inning.
as long as there was one, though, there
Yeah, I
had
guess.
to have been one at the beginning of the inning. Then,
Yeah, I just don't
so
understand. Even if it's
that's
one
something that
error,
would have, huh?
even if it's one error, then you still give up a grand slam. I don't know. That should at least be three, if anything. Three earned runs.
I mean, I would,
Just
yeah,
in
we
my
would have to look into that at some point, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure,
yeah.
honestly.
Which
So
yeah, I don't.
I
Then
don't know.
so you had zero earned runs and then two walks and then three Ks in that game for Will Warren, which he's been a little inconsistent, which I don't like, especially now we're going into September, which is like grind time for all MLB teams. So not a good sign. And then on the 29th, it was 10-2, another blowout game with a grand slam by Grisham in the top of the fourth. That was like our main event that happened in that game. And then Rodon had an interesting day. He had 6 innings pitched. He gave up 7 hits, but only one earned run, 2 walks, and 5 Ks. Which Rodon he's been doing very well, especially in the second half of the season. I mean, we need all of the pitching that we're gonna have. We need everyone to be on board. So I'm happy that he's really on it right now.
I don't mean to cut you off, Tom. I didn't even look at this, and it is exactly how I expected it went. So you asked about the no runs. Cuero safe at first on fielding error by shortstop Volpe. First at bat of the grand slam
Oh,
situation. Flied
amazing.
out to center. Baldwin walked. Madroth hit by pitch. Talkman struck out. Vargas homered. Told you. So whatever happened the first at bat of the inning, subsequently it's a domino effect. Subsequently, whatever happens after that, because they're going to see it as well. If Volpe doesn't make his 500th error of the season, okay, maybe everything else doesn't happen, and that's why it's no run runs. Told you. I
I
didn't even look, folks. I didn't even look. I just used Volpe as an example because he's got like 15. He's got what 18, 20 errors on the season.
That's how
But
predictable he
that's what
is.
happened. There you go, Dom. There's your answer.
That's incredible. But even though like you hit a batter, I don't know. To me, that still doesn't make sense to me.
That's just how it works.
Yeah, I know that's how it works, but I
I
like
know.
for that's I just don't understand that.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead,
Okay then.
continue. You're talking about the 29th game?
Yeah. Another
Mhm.
10-2 game, grand slam by Grisham in the top of the fourth, with then Rodon, 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, one earned run, 2 walks, 5 Ks. And then on the 30th, that game was give me agita. 5-3 in 11 innings. Judge with a solo in the fourth, and Wells in a solo in the seventh to make the game 2-1. And then the man, the myth, the legend, the one that we gave up the facial hair policy for, the greatest closer of all time, Devin Williams, blows another lead in the seventh inning and gives up an RBI single to tie the game. And then Bellinger with the RBI single in the 11th inning, and then an RBI double by Jazz and an RBI double by Volpe to make the game 5-2. And then, once again, there he is, Cam Schlittler, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, one earned run, one walk, 8 Ks. And then Bednar with a great 2 inning outing, and he only gave up 1 hit and got a strikeout. I'm starting to like him as like the setup guy. If we need him for 2 innings, that we know that we can put him out there. As great that he could be as a closer, I mean, I think the closing position is just all over the place. I think Boone's like, yep, if you want, go ahead. Because Duvall will come in for a save. Bednar will come for a save. For some reason, Williams can still be in save situations. I don't even think Aaron Boone knows what he's doing with that. But, I mean, if this is how it's going to be for the rest of the year, with him being a setup guy for 2 innings in the seventh or the eighth, or even eighth and the ninth to close the game out, I would take that any day. Especially how he's been doing, even though he had a slow start in his first start with the Yankees. Well, actually, first 2 to 3 starts, it wasn't that good. But ever since the end of the month, he's gotten way better. And even though Duvall gave up a run, but he still got the save in the 11th inning. And then, this is where everything just goes bad. Everything. It's like, oh, we're undefeated on this trip. Let's close it out with a bang. And like I said, for some reason, they will always find a way to lose. On the 31st, which is yesterday, as the time of this recording, there's a final score of 2-3. Judge hit a home run in the first inning, and then an RBI double for Bellinger in the third to make it 2-1. And then Louis Hill back on the mound again gives up the home run to Colson Montgomery in the bottom of the sixth to tie it up at 2. And then Tim Hill comes in the eighth. In the bottom of the eighth, he gives up a solo home run to Lenyon Sosa to make it 3-2. Tim Hill, I still don't know how I feel about this guy. He's not really consistent either. And when it comes to Boone, like I said, it's just all over the place. He's just putting in random people at this point. It's like, oh, you pitched yesterday? Oh, then you can't pitch today, even though you pitched one inning, which come playoff time, he might need you for multiple games that could be back to back or even a day after. I have no words for this guy, Aaron Boone. He just pisses me off so bad. But yeah, with Louis Hill, he had 5 in the third innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. It's even with one loss, I'm not happy. Like, this isn't like a celebration. This isn't anything good to cheer about when it comes to this team. I will cheer for this team if we go on this stretch against the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, the Astros, the Tigers. If we win all these series, then I'll be happy. That's when I'll actually be happy, because we're actually going up against top teams in the league. But now this doesn't impress me at all. Like how, was it last week or 2 weeks ago when we went up against the Twins and the Cardinals? Like, who cares? Who cares? These are just meaningless. It's just good for reps, I guess, but that's it. But like I said before, Cam Schlittler, he is the one I'm so excited to see. Every time that he's on the mound, I'm turning my TV on and I'm locking in. In August, he had a 1.60 ERA. But this is where we get screwed. Because you think when I'm saying all these stats about our hitting, these past series, that, he must get so much help. No, not at all. He's 1-1 in 6 starts in August. That is terrible. Did he have an amazing game every single time he pitched in August? No, not at all. But we still need run support from the offense. He had 33 and 2/3 innings pitched. He gave up 22 hits, 6 earned runs. He gave up 3 home runs, 11 walks, but 39 strikeouts. But this is where, I don't know, those stats don't really sound that good. But the opponent batting average for that month was 186. For a whole month, that's just insane. 186. That's
pretty good.
That's extremely good for a rookie too. I'll take that any day. And then another guy who's been really impressing me these past 4 starts, or you can say even 2 starts also, David Bednar. The last 4 starts, he went 2-0, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. His opponent's batting average was 158 and had a 3.60 ERA. In the last 2 starts, he went 1-0, 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 0 runs, 0 walks, 3 strikeouts, opponent batting average at 100. .100. I mean, hey, this is what we need. I mean, I know I'm saying that these wins don't impress me, but they are needed, though. They are needed, especially if we're trying to get into the second wild card spot or even the first. We still could. It's still possible. But I'm not shooting for anything higher than the wild card. I'm not going to do that to myself. I'm not going to say it to you guys, saying, "Oh, we can still go for the division." That's over. That's completely over. We need these games. We need every single game we can get. Like, we sort of needed a sweep on both teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one loss yesterday, it can break momentum, and it's just not good for the locker room at all. Because for some reason, I feel like the Yankees take losses like really seriously and personal. Which this is just a fan coming out of me right now, but that's what I've been seeing this whole year. It's like, oh, we got this. We're on a great run, and then one loss, and then we could possibly go on a 3-game losing streak now. The way that
Yeah,
this season has been,
I
it's
get that.
it's not good.
No,
It really
no,
isn't.
it's not. What I will say though, Dom, is the Yankees are only 2 games behind the Blue Jays, and right now they're losing to the Reds 2-1, and the Reds are threatening bottom seventh, man on first, no out. So the thing is, dude, the Yankees don't play today. Mets, I'm watching right now. By the way, I'm going to be getting to the Ryan Stanek idiots, but he had a wild pitch, and now the game's tied 6-6. I mean, he's dreadful. But the Reds are beating the Blue Jays. Yankees don't play today. Blue Jays lose. Now the Yankees are only a game and a half out of first in the division. So Dom, I know you don't want to bring yourself to the division race, but it's pretty close. I mean, we got a
It is
month.
close.
We still have a month left of the season.
It is close, but the Blue Jays have our number this year. For some reason, we can't beat them.
I know.
For some reason, no matter what. And like I said, we play down to our competition.
Uh-huh.
To me, it seems like sometimes we're scared of some teams. Like
Yeah,
for some
I know.
reason, we took over. For years, we're taking over the Yankees against the Blue Jays. If we're at the Rogers Center, if we're at Yankee Stadium, it was automatic. This year, they swept us for the first time in franchise history, which is actually an insane stat. And we're going up against them, and now we're going up against also the Astros, like I said, the Red Sox, the Tigers. We're gonna need every single game.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
I'm still nervous. I know it's close,
Right.
but it's not like a good nervous feeling. I got a bad nervous feeling because and like I said too in other episodes, that we need every starting pitcher to pitch well. Like Fried, when he was killing us when he was on a bad streak. Now he had a good outing last outing, and then now we have Schlittler. We need him to do good. We need Rodon to not slip up. He'll give up hits and he can give up a few runs, but we get good run support when Heel's on the mound for some reason. I don't know why it's not with anybody else, but with Heel, I don't know. I guess they like him or something. Maybe he's like the
I don't
most
know.
loved in the locker room. I don't know, but they help him out a lot. And then the bullpen, it's just a big train wreck.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
I
still
feel you.
so many questions. September 1st,
I know.
like questions that should have
Do
been
you know who
answered
I'm about to get
in
into?
July.
Do you know who I'm about to get into? You're going to tell me those
Go for it.
questions? Are you
Go
kidding
for
me?
it. Go for it.
Oh my
I know
God.
you're ready. I'm really excited. I'm really excited because you're saying, "Oh, there's gonna be cursing."
Oh, there
Uh,
is going to be. It's not going to
uh,
be good.
you got me hyped up when when you
That's
texted me this
not going to
morning.
be good.
I'm ready.
Um,
I'm
all
ready
right.
to.
So,
Where's my popcorn now? I should have got some popcorn.
yeah. Oh man. Mets went 3-4 on the week. They sweep the Phillies. So they start off the week fantastic. City Field's bumping. And then just goes like it's that roller coaster, that King to Cobb roller coaster you mentioned before, Dom, in the other episodes. It goes up and then it goes all the way down. They lost 3 of 4 to the Marlins. And Juan Soto just gave the Mets the lead. He got an RBI double. Man's on fire. He's been on fire since August 1st. Sorry, 2-run double, 2-run triple. He just got the third.
Wow.
Mets are up 8-6.
There
Freaking
you
Juan
go.
Soto, man.
He's back.
Unbelievable. Yeah. But anyway, so Monday, Mets win 13-3. Kodai Senga, I mean, this man, I can't even speak.
Can't even speak.
Carlos Mendoza said this afternoon that they still haven't made a decision on Kodai Senga. What is there to talk about?
Yeah, you
He's
tell
terrible.
me. But I asked you the same thing.
He's terrible. 4 innings
So
pitched,
bad.
6 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks, 93 pitches in 4 innings. Okay, Senga is just very, very concerning. We're going to get more to him on that in a bit. Offense came to play, scored 13 runs. Louis Torrens had 5 RBIs, matching his career high. McNeil had 3 RBIs. Mark Vientos had 2 RBIs. Bullpen went scoreless for the last 5 innings, so that's good. So that's Monday. Tuesday, Mets walk it off 6-5. Sean Manaea, another pitcher that they thought was going to be an ace in the rotation. Another question mark. He's pitching today, Dom. Today, he went 83 pitches, 3 2/3 innings pitched, gave up 5 earned runs. The first pitch of the game, Dom, Jeremiah Jones hit it 429 feet to start off the game. Yeah, immediately was in a 1-0 hole. But anyway, a little bit.
Wait, I'm sorry. I just want to say
Go
one
ahead.
thing.
Go ahead.
So, Sean Manaea was supposed to come back end of April, middle of April, right?
Something like that. Yep.
And then keeps on getting set back and sent back, and then he comes back in July, right?
Mhm.
Beginning of July,
Mhm.
and he's in his, I think he's like low 30s, right? He's like 30.
It's 33.
33.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know about you, but like, what about Met fans in general? Like, did you expect him to be like lights out like
Yes.
this season, even with this crazy setback of an injury?
Oh, without the setbacks, I expected him to be lights out. Yeah, with the setbacks
No,
now.
with them.
No, with them, to be honest, I don't know. I mean, it was a bit of a wild card. I expected him to, maybe not the first 2-3 starts, to not be what he was last year, but to figure it out as we go. I mean, right now, I'm sure ESPN has his ERA now after these 5 earned runs that he's given up today. I mean, the ERA before that was at a 5.28. Where is it now? Now it is at a 5.6. So,
Wow.
I mean, he's terrible right now, but
It's
I
not
didn't know
good.
what he was going to be. We could talk about that again in a bit, but I'm going to keep running through this stuff here. Brosabon can't pitch for this team again. He had no control of his best pitch, which is the changeup. Again, this is on Tuesday, which led to his other pitches failing. He gave up a run. Ryan Helsley is just not what he was with the Cardinals. Let's just call it a spade a spade. The man's been dreadful. I mean, we've already laid out his August stats in prior episodes every single time. He gave up a game-tying homer to Harrison Bader, making it 5-5. Edwin Diaz looked like prime 2022 Edwin Diaz. He basically saved the day. He came in, got all last 5 outs, and he struck out 4 guys in those 5 outs. Bottom 9, Joe and Duran did not record an out. 4 straight singles to win it. Brandon Nimmo got the walk-off hit. So again, I mean, you couldn't get any higher, vibe than this. You win the first 2 games against the Phillies. You're 1 win away from sweeping, and you hit Joe and Duran. Like, the guy throws 98 splitter, 98 slider. I mean, the guy is unbelievable. And he didn't even record an out. So now the Mets they're walking on water. Wednesday, the Mets sweep the Phillies. They finish the sweep, shutting them out 6-0. I'm just going to say this right now, and I know I've said this already, but this is a little bit of like the cherry on top. Right now, Nolan McLean, I don't even think I wrote down here very quickly, but honestly, I'm just going to say it. Nolan McLean's your ace. He's the ace of the staff. It's not a discussion. It's not a discussion. It ain't a debate. And I don't think anybody would debate me. He is the ace of the staff. I know it's only been 3 starts, but what else you got? I just read you Manaea's ERA after the 5 earned runs today. It's a 5.6. Senga looks like dog shit.
Yeah, he looks
He
bad.
looks terrible. He looks so bad.
He looks terrible.
And so now you can only rely on the guys who have absolutely no MLB experience. Nolan McLean has 3 starts. Jonah Tong has 1. Nolan McLean's pitching against the Tigers tomorrow night. So you've gotten to this point where your 2 guys that you thought were going to be your aces are not performing. And now you have to rely on Jonah Tong and Nolan McLean. And there's a third guy we're going to bring up in a bit here too. So Nolan McLean, 8 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 6 Ks, 95 pitches, exactly where the Mets wanted him to top out at. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better outing. He is quickly becoming the ace of the staff. You scratch that, he is the ace. should have been called up here weeks ago. I said this numerous times. He was ready. I don't want to hear people saying, well, he wasn't. No, no, no. Nolan McLean was ready. Don't give me that bullshit that he wasn't ready. No, he was ready. He was
Yeah.
100% ready. That's one of Stearns' 3-4 mistakes that he's made this year. Vientos hit another homer, had 3 RBIs. His homer in the 7th iced the game and helped McLean pitch the 8th, frankly, calmly. And he actually had first and second, nobody out, or second and third, nobody out. He was in some sort of jam and he got out of it. Fantastic work by him. And that showed everybody something, that he can get out of a big jam like that. Mark Vientos was the MVP of August. 21 games, a 278 batting average, 8 home runs, 22 RBIs, a 988 OPS. Okay.
Wow.
On July 13th, he had a .223 batting average and a .640 OPS. But since then, it's now a 300 batting average and a 949 OPS. Guy has completely turned it around. That is the 2024 Mark Vientos. That is who we saw last year. And Dom, that's the guy you asked me back in March. Is that what you're getting out of Mark Vientos? Because I know you were asking me if I should draft him in the baseball fantasy. And I said, sure, but I didn't expect him to start the season off like that. That poor, display of baseball.
I think everyone was just so shocked. I
Yeah.
think everyone was thinking he's going to be this emerging future superstar. And then out of nowhere, he just looks like he hasn't played baseball the
Right.
whole off season, or
Right.
barely played any during the first half of the season. Well,
Yeah, he got hurt the beginning of June.
even
So
before
that's
that,
great. Huh?
even before that, he looked terrible. Even before his
Yeah,
injury.
he did. Oh, yeah, yeah. No, you're right. No, 100%. I agree. He looked dreadful. I was honestly like, is this guy even going to make it out of New York? So basically, that's that. So that's the series. Okay, that's the series. Everyone's saying, "Oh my God, this is going to be great," but I will say, Gary Cohen warned everybody, the announcer for the Mets, and I even not only warned myself, but in the Mets community Twitter chat, I even warned them too. I said, "The Marlins are not the Marlins that you're used to.
Yeah,
They got some good young players, and they can hit, and they got some good relievers. Henriquez out of the bullpen, you can't hit this guy." I mean, he is, I forget his first name, but I know his last name, Henriquez. I mean, he is tremendous. You cannot hit that guy. So they got some good pitchers. They got some good bullpen pieces. So Thursday comes along. Mets lose game 1 to the Marlins 7-4. Clay Holmes, 5 innings pitched. What else is new? 5 hits, 2 earned runs on 4 runs. He couldn't catch the ball at first base. Did Pete Alonso make the best throw? No, but you got to catch the ball, son. You got to catch it. 1 walk, 2 Ks on 88 pitches. As I wrote here, made a couple of bad plays, but the defense did not have his back, I will admit, which really became a common theme in this series. They made 3 errors just in that game alone, but they made more as the series went on. I mean, regardless, I think he needs to be moved to the bullpen, and he's got to piggyback off Minaya. Because Minaya, as I just saw again today on my TV here, he gets to 75 pitches. I mean, even before 75 pitches, he gave up a home run the first pitch of the game. But this guy can only go 4 innings. Really, at this rate, it should be 4 innings Sean Manaea, 4 innings Clay Holmes. He just proved it again today against the Detroit Tigers. I know Detroit is a very good team. They have 80 wins this year, but I don't give a shit. It should be Manaea and Clay Holmes back to back. That's it. I don't want to hear anything else, at least for the rest of this season. Next year, you can worry about next year, see what you want to do over the winter. But the last month of the season, that's how it needs to be. 5 innings pitch is just constantly hurting the bullpen. Ryan Stanek got out of a 4-4 tie, first and second no-out jam, but he still sucks. I can't trust him. He just threw a wild pitch today to tie the game. Good thing the Mets scored 3 this previous top half of whatever inning this is now. Now the Mets are up 9-6. When your starter only goes 4 or 5 innings, it's a domino effect, Dom, as you know.
Yep.
Because now you can't bring in your best guys. You got to save them for the later in the game. Now I got to watch Ryan Stanek. I mean, how many times have we asked the Mets to DFA this guy? It's remarkable. And he's still here. I mean, it's just nuts to me. So, Ryan Stanek is always going to suck, bottom line. And so on top of that now, you have these other guys now having to pitch, and then the Mets are losing. Their offense doesn't come alive. And now really you gotta have now a long relief guy. And Stanek is not a long relief guy. Got out of the jam, that's great. The Mets offense couldn't overcome their own errors. Shocking there. It's just after a while you can't get it done every time. So that's Thursday. Friday comes. I went to this game. Mets blow out the Marlins 19-9. I attended the game. Jonah Tong pitched 5 innings and looked pretty damn good. He has a
Yeah.
nasty curveball and a nasty changeup, Dom.
No, yeah.
I mean, this kid is good.
His curve
He
is
is real good.
absolutely filthy. His curve.
Yeah, filthy. Filthy is the proper word. That is exactly the word I used on Friday. Filthy. 6 hits, 1 earned run on 4 runs. Once again, defense didn't help him out. No walks, 6 Ks, 97 pitches. Mets defense made errors again, 2 of them. So now we're up to 5, Dom. It's only been 2 games. There's still 2 more to play. 5 errors in 2 games. Offense did hit 6 dingbats. Soto 1, Nimmo hit 2, Alonso had 1, Torrens and Vientos, even though Torrens and Vientos was off position player. But home run's a home run on the paper. So that's great. Ryan Helsley had a clean inning, thank God, but he did get hit hard. I mean, I was about to leave. I couldn't stay they scored 12 runs in 2 innings. So he got hit hard, whatever. Clean inning. I think he only threw about 12 pitches. Torrens tried to eat up an inning, but he gave up 4 runs and got pulled. Stanek got the last 2 outs, but the game was well out of hand then. Game was basically over. So that's Friday. Saturday, Mets lose 11-8 after a 6-run comeback, tying it 8-8 thanks to Juan Soto's 2 homers. David Peterson, I mean, this guy's over his pitch limit. He's running out of gas. Another guy that now we have to start concerning ourselves with. And that's why I said, Dom, you're talking about questions in the rotation. I mean, have you been hearing the stuff I've been saying right now?
Oh, I have.
I mean, ready for this stat. David Peterson, 2 innings pitched, 8 hits, 8 earned runs. I got to be honest. I don't remember the last time David Peterson giving up 8 runs in a game. I really don't. 3 walks, 1 K, and only 65 pitches.
Wow.
65 pitches. Now, I'm going to play for you, Dom. Okay, his post-game response, it was awful. I'm going to do a little screen share here because, honestly, I have to play this for you. I'm going to be going to SNY's Twitter account. Okay, let's go to share. Dom, just confirm you can see this?
Yeah.
Great. Listen to what he says.
Mentioned, lack of getting the chase below the zone that you usually do. Why do you think that was?
You'd have to ask them. Felt like I made some good pitches. I don't think the off-speed stuff was in the zone enough early, and so then they were able to kind of just lay off of it. Felt good with it. Felt like I was making good pitches with it. They weren't going after anything beneath, and let's tip your cap to them for that.
Both mentioned.
Now, obviously, he's not happy with his performance, you can tell. But, Dom, I got to ask you, what the fuck kind of response is that?
Seems like he's defeated, even though...
Felt like I was making good pitches with it. They weren't going after anything beneath. Tip your cap to them for that. I mean, you make good pitches. How? You gave up 8 runs in 2 innings. What pitches did you throw? I mean, what happened to the days where pitchers said, yep, not good enough, got to be better. I played terrible. Is that so bad to say? I'd rather you say that than say whatever this garbage is.
There's no such thing as accountability anymore. They're always trying to find a way to get out of it, to say the easy thing.
I just don't, I don't get it.
Make it sound good.
I just don't understand it. It's like,
I don't understand it either, bro.
None. What? Huh?
If you're getting walloped, even though if it's in the place you wanted it, it still cannot be a good pitch.
I just don't get that. Anyway, Mets offense came back from a 6-run deficit. Vientos 3-run dingbat. Juan Soto solo dingbat. Juan Soto also hit a 2-run dingbat to get the game tied at 8, so he had 2 homers. But Didn't matter. Tyler Rogers gave up a run, who actually, Dom, is another guy in the bullpen now who has not done well recently. The opponent's batting average in August is 311. So they've been hitting this guy. They're figuring out his submarine arm, and they were hitting him last month. And I think he gave up 4 or 5 runs, earned runs in August. Edwin Diaz just cannot pitch when the Mets are losing. I mean, I've watched it too many times. I tried to look up a stat yesterday, and I just couldn't find it. If they even make stats for closers who pitch when their team is losing, couldn't find it. If other people can find it, please, tell me where I can go in the comments. But I couldn't find one. But he can't pitch when the Mets are losing. He just, I think he needs the adrenaline rush. I don't know what it is. So he gave up 2 runs in the 9th inning. Mets went quiet in the bottom half with Mullins striking out to end the game. Actually, Mullins just made a great play in the field in today's game against the Tigers, and he did lay down a nice bunt. So he's actually looked a little better today, but he's still garbage. In the month of August, a 203 batting average, a 304 on base percentage, 316 slug, and a 621 OPS. He just flat out still sucks to me. And Dom and I saw the writing on the wall. I don't really care what you want to say, but I saw the writing on the wall. So that was Saturday. And then lastly, Dom, Sunday, Mets lose 5-1. They really never had a shot in this game. There was really not much momentum. And they lost the series 3-4. Kodai Senga, I think it's time to shut him down this year. I mean, I think it's time to call it. I know he had an injury the middle of June, but he came back in July, and he was great to start the year, but I don't know. He just doesn't look right to me, and he hasn't pitched well. Me personally, would I pick up the phone to call him in the winter? Yeah, I would. But he went 4 2/3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks, only 75 pitches. This man is a liability on the mound. He needs to be skipped to start. And as we've said it numerous occasions, Brandon Sproat needs to be called up, and he's got to take his spot in the rotation. It's time. I'm not going to keep watching this dog shit on the mound every time. It's just not going to happen. I would look to trade him this winter, get whatever you can for him. I'm going to do another screen share, Dom, and we're going to pull up his contract. It's on Spotrac, which I always use for players and their contracts. So, Dom, let me know that you can see this.
Yeah.
So right here, player opt-out available after 2025 if he pitches 400 innings across 2023 to 2025. No shot. Spotrac even put it here. Right here, 171.2 innings pitched through 2024. He had a major injury last year, that kept him out. I believe it was the calf injury. That should be right. They even put it right here. Yeah, it was the calf. And he had a full no team trade clause, but after this season, that's gone. There's a 10-team no trade list, but it's okay. You can call the other 19 teams and see if they want him and see what you can get out of him. But that's his contract. He makes 15. I remember it was a 5-year, $75 million deal. Conditional club option 2028. I'd throw that in the trash. I mean, I would not even explore that. But this guy's contract, 15 million is not much. But folks, there's a reason why he only got 5 years, 75 million, because he's always injured. He comes with an injury history, and he's 32 years old. Honestly, Dom, I know you asked about Sean Manaea, so let's look him up, shall we? Since we're already here. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's 33 years old, if I had to guess. I'm pretty sure. Yes, he is. So he's going to be 34 before next season starts. Right here. 33 years old. So there you go. That's his age. Kodai Senga's 32. So there's that for Kodai Senga. I would call the other 19 teams and see what you can get, because I think that would be in your best interest to do that, hands down. Now, Senga's post-game comment was also terrible as well. He said, in quote, "There are some parts of my body that aren't moving the way that I want it to. At the same time, I'm out there and I'm competing. It's a fine line, and it's tough for me because I'm out there, but I'm not able to perform." I personally translate that as put him on the IL and shut him down for the year. Do you agree with that?
I agree. Especially if you got to give him all this money till 27.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
going to need him.
I would shut him down and put him on the IL, and that's it. Time to call up Brandon Sproat, and he should
Yep.
get his time in the rotation and get his opportunity.
Especially now. You got a month left, like you said. This is the perfect time to do everything. Call up people, to send people to the bullpen, maybe bullpen people in as starter or like for something, just an example. But
Yeah.
Clay Holmes next game should be in the bullpen rotation. He
Yeah.
should not be a starter.
No.
Same with Manaya. Senga can go. Tong, make him pitch as much as you could, but obviously don't overwork him.
Mm-hmm.
This is the time. This is the time to get every single little kink out of whatever you got to deal with.
You have to.
This is the perfect time.
Yeah, you do what you got to do. But so now that ends the week. But the month of August, David Peterson 6.68 for the month of August, Kodai Senga 6.18, Clay Holmes 4.32, Sean Manaea 7.13. I can't even believe that's the worst. Nolan McLean 0.89, Jonah Tong only one start but a 1.8. I mean, to say that you have to rely on the young guys to now carry you through the season for this last month is just malpractice by David Stearns. I know you came in, you were hoping that Kodai Senga and Sean Manaea would be your ace, but Sean Manaea didn't even pitch in spring training. I mean, he got hurt before spring training games even started, and Kodai Senga did do well before his mid-June injury, I will say that. So honestly, what's ever happened after that, it's more the pitching coach's fault, Jeremy Hefner, than David Stearns. But I'm not going to lie to you, dude. The pitching lab is not to like totally recreate somebody who hasn't been a starter in 7 years. That's not what the pitching lab should be for. The pitching lab should be for people who are in a skid and need stuff to help them get out of it. That's what the pitching lab should be for. So once they sign Clay Holmes for this, we're going to recreate him and we're going to make him a starter. And we're going to push him and basically triple his innings pitch limit from the years before. I mean, that's just, to me, that sounds like a stupid strategy.
Yeah.
So I wasn't agreed to it from the start. And then on top of Frankie Montas, but in a bit, I'm going to get into a couple of the mistakes that Stearns has made. So those were the ERAs for the month of August from the starting rotation for the Mets. The Mets had, like, historically their best offensive month in their franchise history, and they finished 11-17 to start the month. I mean,
Great.
11-17 record, tied fifth worst in MLB. 5 innings pitched per game started, tied for fourth worst in MLB. A 6.32 runs per game, most in MLB. 4.97 team ERA, fourth highest in NL. Relief pitchers, 11 losses, most in MLB. Juan Soto, fantastic month of August, 10 homers, 1.009 OPS, and he's killing it today against the Tigers. Kodai Senga, 0-3, a 6.18 ERA. I mean, 177 runs scored in the month of August, franchise record. 53 home runs, franchise record the month of August. 285 average, 866 OPS. Despite this, the Mets went 11-17 on the month. It's just not sustainable.
No.
It's not going to work. And I went back, Dom, and I looked at their record for last year. I was like, 73-64 this year? What the heck was it last year? Dom, you want to take a guess what the record was on September 1st, 2024?
Same thing.
Yep. And that's when the Mets were supposed to be, it was supposed to be a rebuilding season, not contending. I mean, that's a problem. That's a big, big problem.
That's a big problem.
Yeah. And now I'm going to say something here that I have to. The people who use FIP, this stupid statistic for Ryan Stanek to say, oh, he's just been unlucky. He's just been unlucky. It's the FIP statistic. So if people don't know what FIP, the acronym stands for, it's fielding independent pitching. And it's a sabermetric that measures a pitcher's effectiveness based on events they can control, such as dingbats, right, homers, walks, hit by pitches, and strikeouts. It filters out the impact of defense and luck by comparing the pitcher's FIP to the league average. providing a better indicator of a pitcher's true performance than the ERA. What the fuck are we talking about? I mean, are you kidding? For Ryan Stanek? His ERA in April, a 5.59 ERA. In June, a 6.23. ERA in August, a 12.38. Where is he unlucky?
Yeah, he's so unlucky.
I don't want to hear that dog shit statistic.
That must mean I'm unlucky too, then.
I mean, what are we talking about?
What is that going to do for me?
I have no idea. I have no clue. The guy's been a complete roller coaster and a liability. He can't be here anymore. Either he DFA'd, you only use him for when you're up like 10 plus runs, and he just can't be here next year. If you want him to be an innings eater, sure, but I'd rather have Chris Davinsky and Brendan Waddell, who went scoreless against the Marlins this weekend. I'd rather have them pitch.
Oh, yeah.
It's unbelievable. I mean, what the fuck are we talking about? FIP. Save it. I don't want to hear it. I don't give a shit. Do not care.
I know, like, when it comes to baseball, like, stats are used more in, like, this sport compared to basketball and football. Obviously, they still use them, but, like, there's too many crazy stat people in the MLB when it comes to writers or like analytic teams and like on the actual teams itself, and they're coming up with these random things like FIP. Who's looking at that? Like, does anyone even care about FIP or like any of these other bullshit stat things? No, like that's another problem. Which has actually been getting released by Clint Frazier, if you've been listening to his podcast with Aaron Boone, that he has a whole statistics team that is based off these lineups that you're seeing every day, based on the pitcher or based on the momentum of the batter or hitting streak or not a hitting streak, or like this is what like these analytics are based off of, but not just the nature of the game, which people forget it's a kid's game.
Yeah.
And if you're hot, you're hot. Like,
so if I had a 10-year-old son and he went to pitch on the mound, what am I going to say to him? Don't worry, son. I saw your FIP statistic. You're good.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's all bad luck. You gave up 3 homers today, but, FIP will figure it out. Don't worry about it.
They're going to be really bad today, so we're not going to have you.
Aaron
Judge. Or Aaron Judge, congratulations. You had 2 home runs last night. Here, how about you sit this next game?
It's unbelievable. I'm going to move on from that topic. We can go on there for days, but David Stearns is not a masterclass GM. He's not. He's made a few mistakes here. Frankie Montas, his contract, he's going to undergo UCL surgery and will likely be done as a Met because I don't think he'll even pitch next season, let alone the rest of this year.
No.
Clay Holmes as a starter. The pitching lab, as I said, right, is not to recreate someone who hasn't been a starting pitcher in 7 years. It's for a pitcher who gets into a skid and needs help to get out of it. These guys aren't robots, okay? He is a constant 4 or 5 inning pitcher. You need to have Minaya for 4 innings, Holmes for 4 innings, and then Diaz close the game. That's essentially how you should try to do it. Will it work every time? No. By the way, Brian Helsley just gave up a run. So that's another guy who continues to have relief problems. And it looks like Mendoza's going to take him out. Yeah, shocker there. So there's that, right? Of course, Minaya, I already talked about his outing today and his pitch count. Don't need to say it again. It's just not sustainable. The young pitchers should have been here sooner, and I will easily take that to my grave. You simply can extend them sooner. I don't care about the 1 year of team control. This is not Milwaukee, okay? This ain't the Wilpon era. We have money. Money is not the issue. I don't care about the extra year of team control. Stop working in a small market. You're in New York. I mean, I'm pretty sure David Stearns is from this state. I mean, you should know yourself. This isn't Milwaukee. Bring them up early. You easily could have a better position in the standings for the wild card and the division. And you messed it up, basically. But you can extend them earlier. I just don't understand it. My uncle said to me Saturday night, Dom, oh, look at what he did in Milwaukee. Look how their season has played out. Are we in fucking Milwaukee? Where do we live? We live in New York. What the fuck do I care about what Milwaukee does? What do I care? I don't give a shit. You're in New York now. I do not care. I know after this season, it'll be 2 seasons that you've been working for the Mets, but you have to change it up a little bit. I know I'm sure you talk to Steve Cohen and you say, hey, this is my game plan. This is how I'm going to do it. But you didn't set up the rotation properly. I don't care what anyone says to me. You didn't set up the rotation properly. Griffin Canning, yeah, he got hurt. Was he doing well in the season? Yeah, but he was already starting to regress and go back to his old form. So you would have had to try to figure him out. Kodai Senga, he started off well. Unlucky. He got hurt. He hasn't been the same since. Okay, Sean Manaea, I mean, he got hurt before spring training even started. Maybe you could have tried to get somebody in. Who knows? But I still thought maybe you could have brought back Jose Quintana, Severino. If you're going to give all that money to Frankie Montas, maybe you could have even signed Jack Flaherty, as we said 2 or 3 episodes ago. So you could have constructed it a better way. Now we have to rely on the young guys. And Brandon Sproat needs to get called up for this upcoming weekend. But essentially, David Stearns has saddled us up with PLH. What does PLH stand for? Pitching Lab Hope. That's basically what he's setting us up for. That, Pitching Lab's going to save it. Pitching Lab's going to figure it out. I mean, what the heck, are we robots?
No,
I mean, you have to look at their previous seasons for their statistics and try to sign somebody. I would have never paid Max Fried what the Yankees paid Max Fried. I'll just be transparent on that. But you should have gotten someone. And I just don't understand it. I mean, this guy's got to wake up. It's unreal. Now you're relying on guys who don't have much MLB experience. It's unreal to me.
I think
It really is.
I think he gave you a GH,
Which is
a general hospital, because
yes.
every single pitcher is injury prone that you have. I mean, you talked about Severino. He's also injury prone. I'm sure that's probably the reason why you didn't resign him in the first place. But then you get Frankie Montas, who's also injury prone. Senga was hurt last year. Manaea is just, last year was 32. I mean, how much can you really expect out of a 32-year-old? Like, you're not Clayton Kershaw or Justin Verlander. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how much do you really expect out of a 33-year-old guy?
I don't know.
You can't really expect much. And realistically, does anyone even know what the hell Senga's ceiling could have been this year? Because honestly, like, from looking at someone from the outside, clearly, I was expecting him to be like some type of Cy Young candidate, even if he was healthy. Like, I'm really wasn't expecting that at all. Like, he didn't impress me at all every time I've seen him pitch or just looking at his highlights or anything. He's never really like impressed me or like blew me out the water. I've never seen it.
No. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The last thing I'm gonna say here is, I'm watching this game right now. I mean, I don't know who Mendoza can go to in the bullpen at this point. I mean, Reed Garrett's now, starting to throw and progress towards like maybe pitching and get to a rehab assignment. But Ryan Helsley got pulled today. Soto got pulled today. Stanek is terrible. I think the only 2 guys you can rely on is Brooks Raley and Edwin Diaz. Tyler Rogers, yeah, maybe, but Tyler Rogers has been getting figured out too. So maybe those 3 guys. I still have faith in Tyler Rogers. I think he's a seasoned vet with that submarine arm. I think he'll figure it out. But in the playoffs, 3 guys isn't enough. You need like 2 more guys. I mean, they got to really. Jeremy Hefner's got some work here. He's got some work to do for the remainder of this season and in the playoffs. So, Dom, I'm just going to leave it at that. Moving on to the NBA, there's not really much to talk about. Knicks are going to be getting ready for camp and the preseason. I will say Jalen Brunson looks great. He's moving around quite well. He looks like he's in shape, but he always looks like he's in shape. He takes his workouts and his routine very seriously. There was an adorable video of his little daughter. He waved at her and she waved back. It was probably the most precious thing I'd seen all of last week. It was great. But yeah, not much to say really. The Knicks, I'm sure, are still exploring for the last veteran minimum contract, and we'll see who they sign. Maybe it'll happen this week, maybe next week. I don't know, but we're gonna get away from the NBA. Not really much to say there. Now our last section of the episode today is the NFL. The Giants are going to be facing the Commanders in Washington. Week 1, can't believe football. Football technically starts in 2 days. No, 3 days. 3 days. Starts on Thursday with the Eagles and the Cowboys starting up the season. But talking about the Giants now, Dom, of course, you go first. First off, were there any surprising cuts from the 53-man roster?
Yes, there was. There was a lot of them. I mean, actually, I yes and no, because they were actually also in the practice squad, some players. But the big surprising one to me was Greg Dulcich, who I was talking highly about, who
Yeah.
scored 3 touchdowns in the preseason. Why? That's like the really big one that I was so confused about. Why him? I mean, I know we have 3 tight ends, but you can use those tight ends for different plays and different schemes. And we need as like all the pass catches we can get, because we don't know how things are going to be, because, I hate to say it, but Wan'Dale Robinson's injury prone. Slayton, he's known for dropping balls. Daniel Bellinger isn't the healthiest guy in the world either, even though he should have been. They've screwed up his development so bad because of how bad our offensive line was the past 2 years, because we needed him for blocking instead of receiving, which is just unreal, because he was a good all-around tight end, but now you mostly have him for blocking on run plays. That's like the really big surprising one for me that took me off guard, because I'm like, why? But like other
Okay.
ones, like Will Jordan Humphrey and guys like that, they made it to the practice squad, and we just don't have enough room, which it happens. I'm like, could they made the roster? Yeah, but I mean, we already have a big wide receiver room. I mean, when it comes to roster wise, not talent wise, but yeah, Greg Dulcich, that one really got me. But I'm really glad, because I didn't know what they were gonna do with Thomas Fadone, the rookie tight end that they got, but he made the roster, which I'm glad he made it. But Dulcich, he looked incredible. He was the best player on our team for the preseason on the offensive side, and
Okay.
they let him go. And now
Okay.
I believe he's in Miami now.
Hmm.
They tried to
Okay.
sign him to the practice squad, and he's like, nope, I'm good. I'm going to Miami.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was a
Okay.
big cut for me, which I was really surprised about. I think everybody was surprised as a Giants
Yeah.
fan.
I mean, the Greg Dulcich one was surprising for sure. I mean, that one I was like, wow, I was a little taken aback by that one. And little Jordan Humphrey too. I mean, he did pretty well for the preseason. I would say also Montreal Washington, right? Was that his name? Believe he also got cut
Yeah,
as well.
he got cut,
I
but
mean,
I
I don't know.
wasn't.
He was moving around, always finding himself open. I thought maybe he would be there, but pretty sure he got cut too.
Yeah, he got cut. I really wasn't that surprised. He's a good player, but I just didn't think there was room for him on the team,
Right.
especially when you already have like a shorter guy like Wan'Dale Robinson on the team.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. So strengths and weaknesses of the Giants, what are they?
First off, I'll start off with the strengths.
Uh-huh.
The strengths we actually have on paper, if you think about it, we do now have a good quarterback room, which now we got Russell Wilson, and we got Jackson Dart, and we have Jameis Winston. We cut Cutlets. So glad he's gone. Now we have someone we have multiple quarterbacks now that can throw the deep ball, which Daniel Jones, he couldn't throw a ball past 20 yards without it being inaccurate. So now we have someone who can throw the ball for a deep threat for Darius Slayton, which he's known for his go routes. Malik Neighbors can do everything. And also now we have Jalen Hyatt. Jalen Hyatt, he suffered for 2 years because of Daniel Jones having the most inaccurate deep ball probably in the history of football, of how bad he is. So now it seemed like in the offseason that they gained a little chemistry, Russell Wilson and Jalen Hyatt, and I really hope that he plays. I really do. Maybe there's some reason Dayball doesn't like him, or he sees something that maybe he's not ready yet. I mean, I trust Dayball, but still, like, he just has so much potential for him to be not playing, for him to not be getting reps, because he barely got any reps in the preseason. He did drop 2 balls with Dart, but then he bounced back and caught a ball with I think it was Jameis Winston in the preseason against the Patriots. So he bounced back. He learned from his mistakes. He caught the ball, got a touchdown. I'm happy for the kid, but we need him. We need him, especially it seems like we're going to be throwing the ball a lot this year, especially a deep ball. So quarterback, that's a strength. Do I have to say more about the defensive line in the pass rush? I mean, come on. I mean, just the potential of this team. We do have the hardest schedule in the league. We literally have the hardest schedule in the league. And even though we're facing really hard teams, we're facing the NFC North, which is going to screw us too. And now, especially Micah Parsons is back now with the Packers. That's another team we're going to have to look out for. I think we have a possibility to be a top 5 defense. I mean, you got to stop everybody. Now we have Dexter Lawrence in the middle, who's clearly our best player, but he gets double teamed every single time. Every single time that he's on the field, he's getting double teamed. But now you can't, because now you're going against Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, who could be a potential rookie of the year, and you still got Kayvon Thibodeau. That sounds pretty good to me. That sounds really good to me. I'll take that any day of the week. Another strength, which I'm saying this just from my opinion. I'm not saying this based off of facts, because not every player has played yet in the NFL. But we have a good running back room too. Now we got Tyrone Tracy, and we got Cam Scatterbo, and we got Devin Singletary. That's pretty solid. That could be like a middle of the pack team, middle of the pack's running back room right there. But we have still so much to prove, because Scatterbo has never played a down yet. Second year only for Tyrone Tracy. And obviously we have a good vet in Devin Singletary. That's a good, solid room. And the running backs, we're going to need them. We're going to need them so Malik Neighbors can get open. You can't just be throwing the ball every single time. You're going to have to be running the ball, and that's a good 1-2 punch right there. And I'm just so excited to see Scatterbo play. The way he runs, I said it before, he runs like a little Brandon Jacobs, or not even Brandon Jacobs, like an Ahmad Bradshaw. That's who he runs like. Just never gives up, runs hard, puts his head down, going in between the tackles like it's nothing. I cannot wait to see that. So that's another strength. And then if I had to say another one, probably our linebackers. Because we still got Bobby Okereke, and we got Micah McFadden, who's getting better and better every year. And Okereke is a stud as well, a Pro Bowler. And linebackers too, if you want to count Kayvon, and I mean, I guess I'll say Abdul Carter, but he's going to play everywhere. Abdul Carter is going to play. He's going to play like Micah Parsons. He's going to be on the inside. He's going to be the outside. He's going to be a middle. He's going to be an outside linebacker. He's going to be all over the place. So I just hope Abdul Carter does his thing, because he's going to be a really big star for us, and he's going to be a problem. And teams are going to be having game plans just for Abdul Carter. They already have game plans for Dexter Lawrence, but if you got to have game plans for 2 players on that pass rush, it's going to be a problem, no matter who we play.
Did you say your weaknesses yet? Or
no?
Did you? Okay, so your weaknesses, you said before, is wide receiver 2, cornerback 2, and I guess the offensive line.
Yeah, so the weaknesses, I'll start off with the offensive line. We have no idea what's going to happen, because we have this right tackle now, Bo, who we got in this draft. He's a rookie. He's going to be our starting right tackle. We have no idea how he's going to be. And then we got at right guard, we have Evan Neal, who we know who's a disaster at right tackle. Then they got to get moved to guard. We we have no idea. We have no idea how he's going to be. And then John Michael Schmidt's our center. He had a great rookie year. Then last year he looked like he didn't even know how to play football last year. So those are big questions. And also even Andrew Thomas's health. Is he even going to be 100% healthy week 1? We still don't know that yet. He just started practicing like a few days ago. Or not even, maybe like a week ago now. But that's still a big question for us, our offensive line. And obviously, I mean, if you don't want to go based off of the past Giants years, just go based off of Joe Burrow. You have all these weapons around you, but you have no offensive line, then you get destroyed every game. You're not going to make the playoffs like last year. So that's still a big concern. Second concern, cornerback 2. We still don't know. Drew Phillips, our second-year corner, will probably be in the nickel. But our outside receiver, we have Paulson Adebo as the 1. And I don't think any fan really has any faith in Deontay Banks right now of how bad he played last year. So it's going to be between him or Cordell Flott. I mean, they both have reps under their belt, but we don't know how reliable they could be. It's still a big question. I'm like, I believe in our safeties and Javon Holland and Tyler Nubin, who are going to be very solid for us. But we still need people to lock these guys down. And these pass rushers can't get to the quarterback every single time. So it only takes one player to get open. So we'll see about that. And then our wide receiver 2, like I was talking about before, Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson, J.N. Hyatt. We don't know. Like, that's the thing. It's just a question. It's not like I don't believe these guys can do it. It's just such a big what if when it comes to this wide receiver room. Slayton, he got the speed. You know, he can make people miss. His only problem is dropping balls, which he has improved over the years, but he still drops balls. Not good. Wan'Dale Robinson, injury prone. Like, he's a small guy. You know, he tore his ACL already. But still, we need him to be healthy. And Jalen Hyatt, can he do anything more than run a go route? That's still a question for us to find out.
Okay, I gotcha.
So yeah, I'll see those. And also, I'm sorry, one last one. When Dexter Lawrence is not in the game, who's going to stop the run? We got a rookie, Darius Alexander, out of Toledo, who looks good, but he's still a rookie. We still don't know. He still hasn't played a snap yet. We don't know that. Abdul Carter, are we going to put him on the inside? No. Exactly. He can.
Sure, but
he can, but are you going to put him on the inside every time that Dexter Lawrence is on the field? No. Maybe once in a blue moon, yeah. But that's not a good thing. We need a good backup for Dexter Lawrence. He can't play every single snap.
No. Same thing with Quinn Williams on the Jets. Same thing.
Yeah, so I'd say those are the strengths and weaknesses of this Giants team.
Okay. So we're going to keep these short questions rapid fire. Week 1 predictions for Giants at Commanders. What do you got and what's the score?
I'll say that they win this game. Just to face the fact that the Commanders, no one has any idea how their defense is going to be. They're going to have a lights out offense, but now we got a Giants defense who can pass rush, and we have better defensive backs now, and our linebackers are still solid. We can really be a sleeper when it comes to these defensive games. Defense is going to have to help us in every single game. They're going to be the one to make or break our games. I really don't trust this offense yet because I haven't seen it. Yet. I'd rather put money on this defense over the offense. Clearly, you got to guard Terry McLaurin week 1. You got to guard Deebo Samuel. We'll see, but I believe that the Giants can get to Jaden Daniels with that offensive line because they don't really have that great of an offensive line either.
So what's the score?
The score, I'll say 23-20.
Okay. Solid score. Who do you think scores TDs for the Giants?
For the Giants, I'll say Tyrone Tracy and Tyrone Tracy, and who else? I'd probably say Malik.
Okay. Any interceptions or sacks?
Like sacks, I'd probably go Brian Burns. Brian Burns gonna have a sack, and probably Dexter Lawrence.
Okay.
Those two. Interceptions. Uh, I can't see any interceptions.
Okay.
I can
All
see.
right.
I not yet, at least. I
Okay.
got to see these cornerbacks play and how they run things.
That's
But
fair
yeah,
enough.
but I'll
All
say
right.
23-20 Giants. Um, yeah, I'm sticking with that. 23-20 Giants.
Okay. And again, you said Tyrone Tracy Jr. for a touchdown and Malik, and then sacks Brian Burns and Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna keep this quick. So Jets will be at home to face Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. How riveting! First game of the season. Of course,
Amazing.
NFL playing that one. I'm gonna say the Jets win this one, but I'm honestly gonna say the Jets win 17-14. I think this is going to be a very low scoring game. So any surprising cuts from the 53-man roster? Yeah, Brandon Smith. Was pretty surprised Brandon Smith got cut. I thought maybe he had the potential to be a wide receiver too. So did honestly J.J. Watt when he was in the booth. So that was a surprising 53-man roster cut to me. The strength and weaknesses of the Jets. The strengths are frankly going to be, I think, the defensive line and the cornerbacks. Cornerback two, I think, I honestly think that Brandon Stevens, he's looked much better than advertised so far in camp and the preseason. So I think he'll have a solid year. So the defensive line, the cornerbacks, and I honestly think the running back room. The weaknesses is easily safety, quarterback, and wide receiver too. Those are the weaknesses. I don't know who's going to step up to help out Garrett Wilson. I'm expecting him to get double teamed almost every game until somebody steps up to become wide receiver too. The quarterback, Jalen Hurts, if it's throwing, that's his weakness. Running, he's going to be great, but he's got to be able to throw the ball. He said in the press conference he's fine with taking 8-yard passes every time. That's great, but at some point they're going to pick up on and close that gap, and you'll have to throw the deep ball eventually. And safety's been a question since Jordan Whitehead left. So 2024 was a question mark. I think this year it'll be a question mark again. So those are strengths and weaknesses for the team. Week 1 prediction. Again, as I said, I think it's going to be 17-14 Jets. I think they win the first game of the season. Who scores the TDs? Easily Justin Fields. And maybe another one goes to Garrett Wilson. But I would honestly say, Braylon Allen could maybe get one in from say, 2-3 yards out. So honestly, I'm more comfortable with saying actually Justin Fields and Braylon Allen. Any interceptions or sacks? I think the Jets get one. I'm actually going to say Sauce Gardner, or excuse me, Ahmad Gardner gets an interception against Aaron Rodgers, since I guess he kind of knows how he plays. Sacks, I think the Jets get two. I'm going to say one from Quinnen Williams and one from Will McDonald. So just two on the game. And yeah, that's kind of how I see the Jets Steelers game going this upcoming Sunday. I can't believe NFL is back, honestly. So I'll just say this. Anything else, Dom, that you want to say before I wrap up today's episode?
Well, a few things. Well, Ahmad Gardner has been getting shitted on all offseason and basically his whole
Yes.
career for not following receivers. Do you think he's going to be following DK Metcalf all game?
Nope.
No.
No.
Not at all.
Not week 1. No. Maybe as the season progresses, but not week 1. No.
Also, it seems like your words are coming into fruition because we're in the same fantasy football league, and then with the new update on ESPN, it says which players are trending to get picked up on roster spots, and Braylon Allen is one of them. And Brees Hall, it seems like, is getting picked a lot later than usual in these drafts. So it seems like a lot of people don't really even believe in Brees Hall either.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
maybe if you're watching and if Braylon Allen's still there, go get him on your board.
I have him on my team. I can tell
Yep,
you that.
I know you do.
That's all I know. I
I know
drafted
you
him.
That part for sure.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the Giants, I've said this in other episodes, but I'm not expecting us to be this crazy dominant team. Maybe on defense we can be a really good unit, but I really don't have the biggest faith in us on offense. I just want us to have competitive games. If it's a really competitive game on both sides of the ball and we lose, you know what? It sucks losing, of course, but I'm not going to be flipping out.
Right.
I want us to have close competitive games every single week. I want us to at least have a chance for us to make the playoffs in the last week. Like the last week where, if you beat this team and then another team loses, then you can be in. Or, like I just want like a good scenario for us to even have a possibility of being in the wild card.
Okay.
Because I know we're not going to win a division because the Eagles are in our division. So that's not happening. Clearly, I'm not that stupid.
Uh-huh.
But I just want everyone to know that I just want us to be competitive, especially with the hardest schedule in the league with the New York Giants.
For sure.
It's proven. It's not even like I'm just saying it's a bullshit. Like it's actually true that we do have the hardest schedule in the league.
I agree.
And so that's all I want. I just want competitive games.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't see the Jets winning their division. I can tell you that. I expect the Bills to win it. So that's all I'll say on that. Last thing I will say before I close out here, shout out to my alma mater, University of Miami. Big dub last night against Notre Dame. Got a little scary towards the end. They tied it up, but they ended up winning 27-24, thank God. So shout out to them. Carson Beck threw a couple of TDs. So great to see everyone attend that game in Miami. Of course, I obviously wasn't there. I'm clearly in New York, but shout out to them. Great game. Very much enjoyed watching from beginning to end. So that was great. Dom, are you set? Anything else? Last words?
Fire Aaron Boone. Send Anthony Volpe to the sun. Let's go Giants. I'm expecting some sacks from this defensive front.
All right.
There you go.
Very good. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you to everyone for tuning in to today's episode of the FTB Podcast on either YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Be sure to like this episode and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss any of our shows. See you folks on Monday. Peace.
George Lombard Jr. Hopefully I'll see you soon.